Hello and welcome back to Second Tier Talk, where we talk all things Championship. Today, I can't lie, I do take a little bit of joy making this video, but not too much joy because I do feel sorry for our noisy neighbours. As you both know, me and Harrison are both Sheffield United fans, but today we are talking about the boys in blue across the city, Sheffield Wednesday. So, what's going on at Wednesday? What is actually happening at Wednesday at the moment, mate? Fall of a sleeping giant. What is going on?
It just seems getting worse, and worse, doesn't it? Like you think they've got past a bit. Oh, takeovers coming through. Rumors are a takeover, big American money. The next minute, it's gone flat again. More embargoes coming. Now at weekend, emergency loan keeper got sent off. Now they have to get another emergency loan keeper in, Joe Lumley. That's what I've seen online. So it's bad
Yeah.
situation.
So there's Joe Lumley and Dominic Iorfa's also gone off injured as well. So I don't think they've
Oh,
actually got a professional
dear.
centre back on the books at the minute either. So there's there's plenty of sayings out there. When it rains, it pours. They're in a bit of a mess compared to where they were in the days of the 90s when they had the Waddles and the Palmers and all of the big names that they had at one point. And they've just been on a consistent downward spiral for the last pretty much 20, 24, 25
Mm.
years, around that sort of time. So I think there is one man that is pretty much to blame for near enough everything that's gone wrong there in
Gotta
in
be
the
Annie.
last 10 years. I think he's quite liked on our side of the city, but I think he's the most despised man in
Mhm.
S6. So we'll talk about him. Mr. Chansiri, Dafon
Oh,
Chansiri,
yeah.
took over the club in 2015. A lot of Wednesday fans were very happy when he took over to start
At
with.
the time, I was quite jealous because I were in school and obviously I had quite a lot of Wednesday pals, and obviously we was in League One at the time, not doing the greatest.
Yep.
And I just remember all the times getting peppered at school, saying, "Oh, we're going to Premier League." This was back in primary school, so we're talking still then. You know what I mean? We're going to Premier League. You're in League One. Blah 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 blah. Not school ground talk. Like I said, and they got close twice. To say one playoff semi-final defeat, one playoff final defeat, back to back, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
And
so.
especially,
I think they got to the final first, didn't they? I think they played Hull, and then
yeah.
Diarmay obviously saved all Sheffield United fans the worst fear. And then I believe they lost to Huddersfield on penalty. It was all positive to start off with, and they were all happy. Money was getting spent. They were spending big money on your names like Fernando Forestieri, brought Lucas João into the club.
Don't forget
Uh,
12 million on Jordan Rhodes.
Yeah, 12 million on Jordan Rhodes. They were spending money left, right, and centre. Brought Carlos Carvajal into the club, who they all thought was obviously going to be like the next coming. He was
The
supposed to
Messiah.
be. And then after they didn't get promotion in those two chances that they had, it has pretty much been all downhill since.
Yeah.
And as Sheffield United fans, we pretty much know in the city, it's one team has an upward trajectory and one always has a down. We never seem to be doing well at the same time. One of
No.
us always seems to be doing well and the other one always seems to be doing poorly. This season is probably the first time that we could say that both of us have been performing poorly at a similar time. It's not happened for a long, long time. But we'll just go back onto Chansiri because he is a petulant child, isn't he? He's very bitter.
Incredibly.
He's
I
got
say
one of the
the asking
strangest. Oh, go on, mate.
so the asking price, I'm sure you're asking for about 160 million. It's like, where are you getting these numbers from? I think we sold literally the whole lot. That obviously Shire Cliff, obviously the first team academy, the whole lot together, plus the project at Door. I think
Mhm.
now we're combined 105, 110, if that.
Around that sort of mark, and
And
obviously we had a squad that had just come down from the Premier
mm,
League with like new additions. Um, we'd been on an upward trajectory
yeah,
over the last couple of years. We've gone from being languishing in League One to being a club that is let's be honest, a yo-yo club between the
Yeah.
Championship and the Premier League, and Mr. Chancery has got a club that has been floating between the Championship and League One for the last 10 years, maybe a little bit longer than that, 12, 13 years. And he's wanting 160 million, or I think he's now lowered his asking price to a more modest £100 million, I think it is.
Not even that.
But it's still incredible, especially when you consider that wouldn't include the ground being sold
No.
either, as he owns the ground privately. It's not actually owned by the club. So this is one of the points that I did want to address in the video. Even if Chancery does sell, could Chancery end up being Sheffield Wednesday's landlord after the
That's
fact?
scary. The funniest bit would it be if say they got a big takeover and the next minute you'll still see Chancery levered across that, is it the North Stand? Literally all
I
across it,
believe so.
Chancery, all across the North Stand. He'll be gone, but he'll still be there in spirit and as the fucking landlord. It's a bonk situation, and it's as a United fan, it's I'd say it's not nice to see, but at the same time it's like a bit of sweet, because at the same time it's like my heart goes out to the employees of the club, because obviously at the end of the day they've got mouths to feed, they've probably got children to feed, bills to pay, and it's not nice for anyone to be in that sort of situation. It's just a hard situation, especially not a hard situation for a Blade eye, but for a Blade, you've got so many mixed feelings towards it, because at the end of the day, there's not one Blade who doesn't know one Wednesday fan. Every Blade has got a Wednesday fan mate, just likewise as a Wednesday fan's always got a United mate. And it's like, it's hard to, because at the end of the day, there are city rivals, they're our biggest rival, but it's
Yep.
hard to, like, it's hard to put into words, because one bit you feel sorry for him, next minute you feel bad for him. It's like that, isn't it? You're like, do you, don't you? So it's like a bit in the middle.
Yeah. So I've got family that are Wednesday fans. My great granddad were a Wednesday fan. He was a season ticket holder for a long time, and he passed away a couple of years ago. So he didn't actually get to see it get to the stage that it's got to now. But they are pretty much in the same situation as what they were before Mandarich saved them. They are pretty much exactly back to the point that they were. They've just had a winding up order from HMRC. They're under 5 different embargoes with the EFL for 5 different things. They're facing a points deduction. The bottom of the league on goal difference, with only us that are on the same amount of points as them. They're having to play children. They're having to call in emergency loans.
2 emergency loans.
There's
It's never ending, isn't it? It's, you think it gets bad, the next minute it gets even worse, the next minute it gets even worse, and now it's HMRC are getting involved. It's like, bloody hell, when does it end? When there's a solution?
There's just things coming round the corner all the time. There's always something that seems to be round the corner, and it seems like there is only 2 options at the moment that are realistic, and it's somebody pays the asking price that Chancery wants, or the club goes bust. Because from what I've heard from my Wednesday pals, and from what I've read myself, and from what I know about the situation myself, he's not going to put the club into administration, because that is something that he would have to do. He would have to choose to put the club into administration. That's not
So
something that can be forced upon you. The owner has to agree for administration to be put on the club, and then obviously the administrators come in, they regulate the deal, they sell the club for fair market value, I think it is, and then obviously everything else gets cleared up off the back of it. All the debts have got to be settled before you come out of administration as well. Otherwise, you end up with another points deduction on the back of it. You get an automatic 12 for going into administration, and there could be a further 12 on the back of it if all debts are not settled on the back of that. So I can't see Chancery putting him into administration anytime soon, because of the stubborn, petulant man that he is. Love him at times for it, hate him at other times for it. But just overall, it's a strange situation seeing a club this big in the situation that they are for the second time in a couple of years. They really don't have much good luck with owners at all. And it does beg the question: do the fit and proper owners tests need to be stricter and better than what they are currently?
But at that time when Chancery came in, obviously wasn't in this mess, was he? They were spending left, right, and centre. So obviously at that time when he came in, he was fit and proper. But obviously over time, he's not. So it's hard, isn't it? It's hard.
Yeah.
What gets me is it was how close home is. Like obviously you see like your Everton with point deductions, your Forest got one, didn't they? Obviously your Derby close-ish, but not your City rivals. We are, as much as I hate to admit it, we are at Wednesday. Life would be boring as a blade. Life would be boring, especially for Wednesday fans. You know what I mean? The tournament between each other, it's second to none. You know what I mean? And we are at Wednesday. We are United. If there's just one team in the city, it'll be boring as hell.
Yeah, exactly. There will always be a Sheffield Wednesday. Don't get me wrong. Even if I don't think it will come to this, but it is a realistic possibility. If Wednesday went bust, there will be a Phoenix club
team
on the back of it. There will always be a form of Sheffield Wednesday in the city. There's no doubt about that.
What do they call it? Sheffield Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. They might just go through all days a week until one of them works. But it is a sad situation to see. Like I said, for the staff, it's especially sad. Obviously, the players are earning a decent amount of money where they should have financial stability in their life where they won't struggle on the back of it. However, they are doing a job. They've signed a contract. They have to obviously adhere to that contract to get their wages. They should get the wages on the back of obviously putting the playing time in. That is their job. They've signed a contract to do it. They turn up every week. They should be getting paid for it.
Yeah, 100%.
And what I will say is I have got to give some credit to the Wednesday players for the way that they've handled this situation. They've not turned their back on the fans. A lot of them have stayed loyal to the club. Obviously, there's a couple of people that jumped ship, like your Josh Windass. Who else jumped?
Michael Smith
ship?
went, didn't he?
Yeah, Michael Smith went.
went.
Gassama. Is Masaba still there?
No, he went to Turkey.
No, so he's gone to Turkey. So a couple of them have jumped ship, but I don't like this bloke. I really can't stand him. But he is a Wednesday legend. Let's be honest, and like a modern day legend, let's call it, because he's nowhere near like your Chris Waddles and stuff like that. He's not even close to him. Your Chris Waddles, your David Hirsts, and whatever else. But Barry Bannon, he has stayed loyal to the club, and he clearly does like the club. However, he doesn't help himself with the way that he goes off sometimes because he plays the victim card and obviously wants people to feel sorry for him and not feel sorry for him, so to say. I've never said, oh yeah, I've never heard him say that you should feel sorry for me, but he wants sympathy for the club, but he's the first person to jump and laugh at other teams when things go wrong. I remember playoff final, obviously Sheffield United lost to Sunderland. Tommy Watson in the last minute.
Yeah,
he was one of the first people on Twitter putting a video on there, having a laugh about it. And I get that Wednesday fans' argument will be, oh yeah, that's just football and that's how it happens. But this is football, whether it's affecting like personal lives or personal day to day. That's the way that it is for everybody. So if you're going to give it, you've got to be able to take it. I could quite easily just kick the boot in here, and so could you. We could just have a laugh and say, like some Wednesday fans did to Derby. We're all going to have a party when Sheffield Wednesday dies. I'm not going to do that because I do want the club to carry on. I want the rivalry to always be there. I've got a lot of close personal friends and family that are Wednesday fans. Don't know why they're close because they shouldn't be. They clearly need mentally testing. But I do want the rivalry to continue. And I do hope this situation is resolved soon. I hope you get relegated this season, which you are going to. But they will bounce back at some point. Like there's rumoured owners at the minute. I think John Textor's still in the mix.
Wasn't he ex-Palace and Leon?
Yes, that's it. That's right. Obviously, he's part of the reason that Palace didn't end up getting into the Europa League this season. So he's not exactly the flavour of the month there.
No.
But Mike Ashley is a rumoured name. And that's probably going to scare some Wednesday fans, and some United fans are probably going to laugh at it on the surface of it. I genuinely think Mike Ashley would be one of the best owners that they could ask for, because he will pump money into the club. Yeah, Hillsborough might get changed to the Sports Direct Stadium or whatever else. He might change the branding on things, but you might have the big mugs in the club shop, the big Sports Direct
I know
mugs
that.
that if they spill, it ends up flooding. Saying that, they won't be able to have them up there because it'd flood Hillsborough if one of them fell over. So but I do think he would be one of your best possible options in terms of what he'd be able to do for the club, because he has proven that obviously he can get clubs into the Premier League. Did it with Newcastle. Newcastle were up and down, and they were a big club, and they should have been a lot higher than what they were. But Mike Ashley's aspiration, buying a club like Sheffield Wednesday, will be to get them back into the Premier League, so he can start making money off of the back of it.
I think during his time at Newcastle, he didn't get him any financial issues either, did he? You know what I mean? It was always, you know, on time with his payments, no player problems or anything like that. So it's obviously didn't pump in as much as people would have liked to, but at the same time, he never put the club in danger. So it's what do you want, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a savvy businessman. He's not stupid. He's a football man as well. He's got experience of owning clubs. So I think he would be the best owner long term. Well, not long term, for the next 10 years or so, I'd say, to get a bit of stability back into the club, to try and get the crowds back to where they should be. Obviously, it's a stadium that holds 38, 39, 40,000 people. Holds a lot of people. There's a big fan base. Obviously, we're always reminded of them. They take 3 million fans to away days all the time. And
took 10,000 to QPR on Tuesday night, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. So they have got a big fan base. They've got a famous old historic ground that needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is literally falling to bits. It needs a lot of work. So it's going to need somebody that's got a lot of capital behind them already, but most importantly, that has got knowledge of football. Mike Ashley has definitely got that. So I don't know what your thoughts are on it. But who do you think should be the next one?
I'm on board with you with Mike Ashley. Like I said, he'd never got Newcastle into any financial issues. And what Sheffield Wednesday need at the minute is stability. Like you said, they need stability. And Mike Ashley will offer stability.
Yeah,
and it's
100%.
Obviously everything's going to be upgrading what they've got currently, because Jesus Christ, I don't think it get any worse than what you've got at the minute. Probably
No,
Reading's owner probably is on par, if not a bit worse. With it Die Young, we called the Reading owner.
That's right.
But Wednesday, if Chancellor dropped his ego a bit and he just did what's best for the club, on paper, if you take obviously away the stadium falling down, you take away the obviously the players at the minute, you're playing kids, aren't you? If you take away all that, you've got a historic ground, you've got a historic British team. If he lowers asking price and if he's more realistic about it, they are a very nice club to buy, if that makes sense, because you've got the foundations of a big club. And they should are a big club. You've got obviously you've got one of the most historic stadiums in England. Needs a lot of work doing, but it's still Hillsborough. It's still a historic stadium. And they've also got a massive fan base.
Yeah.
So it's a very stylish club to buy. It's just unfortunately Chancellor's ego and his business decisions aren't really for the best interest of the club, which in a way it's sad to see. But it is what it is.
It needs somebody that's willing to put in the work to be able to get the club back to what it should be in theory. Obviously, I don't want to see him back in Premier League anytime soon.
No.
Not at the expense of us anyway. I wouldn't mind seeing him in the Premier League at the same time as us. But putting rivalry aside, Sheffield Wednesday historically are a Premier League club, and they
100%.
are a top-end Premier League club. They're not a bottom-end Premier League club. They're somebody that's probably top 8. Obviously, they've had better finishes than that. They finished second. They've won the old first division and all that sort of good stuff. So there's definitely a lot of history there, and it means a lot to a lot of people.
It's
so
like if you look at the Premier League now, you've got teams like Bournemouth, your Wolves, your Fulham, your Brighton. All teams Sheffield Wednesday are quadruple size on. You know what I mean? And it does me anyway when you see teams like Bournemouth up there, like in top 10. It's like you've got a stadium which is 11,000. You do not deserve this whatsoever.
Fantastic owners, though.
Good owners and the very
difference.
savvy transfer business.
That's the difference.
On the whole, the club's history and the facilities the club's got, i.e., the ground which holds 11,000, it's not Premier League standard.
Tiny club, and obviously they have recently relocated as well. They've only had a new stadium for the last 3-4 years? No, a bit longer than that. 5, 6, 7 years.
For that.
Yeah, so Brentford obviously moved from Griffin Park, didn't they? Brentford,
Yeah.
they're not historically a massive club
No,
either.
forgot about Brentford.
So there's a lot of clubs that are making moves now. They've got themselves into a good position with good owners. Wednesday have already got a ground that they can just do the work on. They've got a 36,000, 38,000
I
seat
think it's
ground.
pushing 41, Colin, honestly.
Yeah, it's got a big
Massive.
capacity. However big it is a big ground, historic ground, good fan base, big fan base, delusional fan base. Don't get me wrong, because they are the first to remind you of how massive they are and the history and all
Attendance
that
FC,
sort of
Colin.
good stuff. Yeah, but obviously it's all in good jest, and I hope it does get sorted soon. So, any Wednesday fans that are watching this video, drop your comments in the comment section below. Obviously, let us know what you think, who you want as the next owner, what you can see happening, whether you think that this is going to get resolved. Can you see yourselves going into administration? Can you see the club getting sold? Can you see Chansiri finally just sorting himself out and selling it for a reasonable, realistic price? Or can you see the situation just getting worse? Just let us know in the comments below. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more championship content. And yeah, best of luck for the rest of the season, because you're certainly going to need it.
We'll need it.
Yep. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care. Have a good one.